What makes these Avenger and Justice League superhero movies awesome is how superpower their villains are. Check out this movie Spotlight's Badass Superpower Villain video, which ranks villains across both the Marvel Cinematic Universe and DC's Justice League Cinematic Movie universes of the villains and not their comics. Which is the worst villain of all time? You'll probably be surprised that it's not Thanos, who is not even at the top of the Marvel list. So stay tuned to find out who could beat him and how. Don't forget, if you love the MC and DC superheroes and villain superpowers, to subscribe to Movie Spotlights now. This Marvel anti-hero alien symbiote Venom has multiple abilities even without having Spidey as his host. This shape-shifting, incredibly strong hostess, malleable liquid-like shiny black goop transforms once Venom binds with a human host. After transforming, Venom has inhuman speed, strength, reflexes, wall crawling, but not like Spider-Man, camouflage, amplified senses, and possession that can overpower normal humans easily, heal injuries, and of course his craving to eat other living creatures. His two key weaknesses are fire and sound waves, which definitely hurt his prospects to be at the top of the most badass superpower villain list. Next up we have Ultron, an artificial intelligence peacekeeper program created by Tony Stark. Although Ultron's objective was to protect Earth from threats, as he possessed multiple hosts in his body, Ultron deemed humanity itself the greatest threat and attempts to commit genocide and wipe out all of humanity. Ultron is a pretty powerful threat, with his body composed of vibranium. He's able to withstand battle and keep fighting with superhuman stamina. Ultron also has tech-assisted telekinesis and he can fire red energy blasts from his hands, so would easily be able to defeat Venom. Next up we have Sinestro. In the War of Green Lantern, Sinestro despised his green color so much that he turned yellow. He's an alien from the Green Lantern Sector 1417. The Yellow Lantern power ring was forged using the yellow energy of fear. Psychologically, he has indomitable will. When commanding the power ring, Sinestro is supremely powerful, enabling him to create an aura surrounding his body and transform his clothing and construct any image and enter hyperspace to create impenetrable force fields. The ring has a nearly unlimited power as it is powered by fear instead of willpower like the Green Lantern. Sinestro can also fly. This villain, Victor Von Dr. Doom, as the antagonist in the Fantastic Four, his face became scarred after he was exposed to a cosmic storm. Dr. Doom's greatest asset is his magical potential, as he possesses a range of sorcery attacks and can teleport and conjure demon armies and generate supernatural portals similar to Doctor Strange. He can also absorb electricity and manipulate energy by blasting to disintegrate enemies. Dr. Doom can easily overcome Ultron, being only a machine by teleporting into another dimension. Dr. Doom is a master manipulator and will overcome the real power of the Green Lantern called Sinestro and his ability to inspire fear. Now we have Loki, who is not known as the god of mischief and nothing. Frost Giant and Thor's adopted brother, this master manipulator makes him not only a funny villain, as he says it varies from moment to moment, but as a charming, smart, shape-shifting villain who is an illusionist. Loki is far more powerful than Dr. Doom as the master of the dark arts.
You can't trust me. Literally stab people in the back like 50 times. Why never do it again?
Loki is far more powerful than Dr. Doom as the master of the dark arts. Loki, being a god, can also beat out Sinestro, the Yellow Lantern, as he is a mere mortal being versus Loki as a god. With abnormal strength, he's faster than Thor and can overpower grown men such as Tony Stark and Captain America, and can withstand a beating from the Hulk. As Marvel's most developed villain and his love-hate brotherly relationship with Thor, Loki is not known as the master of trickery for nothing, as he is capable of illusion manipulation, being able to create holographic projections to fool enemies, and he has cheated his own death. Despite all of this, his motives aren't pure evil, as he just wants his worth to be validated and escape from the shadow of Thor. And of course, we are looking forward to what Marvel will share of his story in his new series.
Hey, I can't believe you're alive. I saw you die.
Next up, we have Steppenwolf, who is a Horn minion, which you may be surprised to find out that he's Darkseid's nephew. We see that in Zack Snyder's cut of Justice League. More about Steppenwolf's backstory, that he betrayed Darkseid and was banished from Apokolips, so he's eager to please Darkseid in his mission to reunite the Mother Boxes. Steppenwolf is a master combatant and has sufficient strength to inflict a fatal blow to Loki. as the god of war, Ares, the son of Zeus and half-brother of Wonder Woman, has godlike strength, super speed, and calls himself the god of truth in Wonder Woman. This war-loving villain also has electrogenesis, where he can project electricity with his body and telekinesis to move objects, and of course he can fly. It was Wonder Woman who was able to beat Ares with her connection to Zeus, allowing her to catch and redirect Zeus's lightning back at Ares to kill him. She had to use divine energy to kill Ares as he's immortal, so conventional methods such as her sword would not work. Although Ares is equivalent to Steppenwolf in strength, as Steppenwolf demonstrates he was hurt by Diana's sword and Aquaman's trident, this proves Ares to be superior and better villain than Steppenwolf. Now we have Dormammu, a mystical creature that came from the altered mystical dimension. Dormammu would obliterate Steppenwolf and Ares as a universal level threat. This villain appears in Doctor Strange. This demonic entity has magical powers, is ridiculously durable, and has proven himself to be virtually unstoppable. But it's hard for Dormammu to get to Earth, so although he may be a powerful being, as strong as the Hulk and almost invulnerable with access to most armies of powerful aliens, he will probably be beaten by Thanos with the full power of the Infinity Gauntlet. Doctor Strange's only way to beat him is not by strength, but mentally, by putting Dormammu into an infinite time loop, as Doctor Strange was killed a never-ending number of times.
Loop time.
Guess what? Next up on our list we have Thanos, and no, he's not the most powerful villain on our list. This infamous villain, a Titan, is pretty unstoppable in Avengers Infinity War in his mission to collect all of the Infinity Stones to become the holder of the Infinity Gauntlet. But even without the stones, Thanos does have superhuman strength, has genius-level intellect, and is a skilled physical fighter wielding a double-edged sword in combat. With or without the stones, he can't lift Mjolnir, so he's not worthy. But in terms of his superpowers, despite facing off against the combined opposition and wrath of Iron Man, Thor, Captain America all at once, he may not be the most formidable enemy on this list. You'd think that he would hit the top of the list, but you'll actually be surprised who's at the top. Who has the most powerful superpowers on this badass villain list? Before we reveal the winner as the most badass superpower of the villain, be sure to subscribe to Movie Spotlights now. Hela is Odin's first child, and this makes her Marvel's goddess of death. Hela's battle with Thor and Loki in Thor Ragnarok is one of the toughest battles they have ever faced. She has unparalleled combat skills and can command her godlike superpowers together with her black magic telepathy. It may come to a surprise, but Hela is actually more powerful than Thanos. Even if the foes have never met, Thanos throws blows at Captain America's shield made out of vibranium, but Hela can easily catch Mjolnir as Thor flung it at her and holds the enchanted hammer at mid-air
Darling, you have no idea what's possible.
Before she crushes it to pieces with their hands, even if it's made out of the strongest material, Uru metal, which Cap's vibranium shield is no match for. Hela is simply more powerful than Mjolnir, Thor, and Thanos, and it wasn't Thor but the fire demon Surtur who destroyed Asgard along with Hela. So we think it's between Darkseid and Doomsday. Doomsday appeared in Batman vs Superman and was a Kryptonian deformity created by Lex Luthor, and has the powers of superhuman strength, speed, immortality, and regeneration as he comes back to life immune from what killed him, and a being of apocalyptic proportions. He is basically an evil version of Superman and more. With his energy absorption and ability to propel energy back, Doomsday, the giant creature, is so powerful that every time the nuclear missiles hit him, he becomes more powerful and he harnesses the power. Doomsday would be superior to Hela, although they would be battling for weeks, as each time she would apply her death touch and Doomsday would rise again and resume his assault, as she can't remove someone from reality without a trace, so Doomsday would win here. As Darkseid is a god of evil and is one of the most powerful and feared gods in the DC universe, this is one villain that most superheroes can't defeat alone. In a battle of the god of evil and the goddess of death, as Darkseid survived the destruction of the planet, Hela's weapons are incapable of that kind of damage, and Darkseid's Omega beams are never known to miss, so he would be able to single-handedly take out the goddess of death. Hela would be tough to beat, but Darkseid would just be too powerful against Hela. Darkseid has drained gods and can use his Omega effect to erase Hela, even with her death touch. We see that Darkseid is far superior in superpower than Steppenwolf, but what about Doomsday? Doomsday is physically superior to Darkseid. We see that Darkseid has the anti-life equation at his disposal, but Darkseid has historically been taken down by gods and superheroes, as we see in the Snyder cut of the Justice League flashback. With Darkseid's anti-life equation, he would win with the encounter with Doomsday, although Doomsday is physically stronger than Darkseid, and Darkseid is one of the hardest beings to kill in the multiverse.
Have you finished the conquest? Not yet.
As we see, Wonder Woman was able to slice Doomsday's skin with her sword in a battle, and being not so smart, the Darkseid is arguably more powerful than the Kryptonian of Doomsday, so Darkseid would probably be victorious. If you enjoyed this video, check out who would win in a battle between the Justice League versus Avengers superpowers by clicking on the screen now.